decided to stop back in with us. Another Facebook Live event here. Again, I'm Daniel. This is Patrick. We want to remind you that if something starts grabbing your interest, make sure you share this out to your friends so that they can go back and watch it too. And we'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button on our webpage there to make sure that you let everybody know that you like what we're doing here, and we appreciate you coming along. So, kind of start off, Patrick. You had a little interesting story about a neighbor that you were telling me.
I did, thank you. I want to remind you too that Daniel Martin is the president of our tax division. He's forgotten more about income taxes probably than anybody you're ever going to meet. I myself, Patrick Wehrly, I'm an enrolled agent with the Treasury Department, have a little bit of tax background as well. So we want to make sure that you understand that we're qualified to be able to give you this information. That's very important. So I'm working out the other night upstairs in my gym, and I look out in the street and my neighbor's dogs are going down the street, just like they own the place. So of course, busy street, cars, those kinds of things. So I ran down, got my neighbor, doesn't speak English by the way, we speak Spanish, and he said an interesting thing. Patrick, my goat normally keeps my dogs from getting out of the yard when the gate's left open. So he jumped in his truck and went and got him. And what I was thinking about walking home that night is that we did two things happen. Those dogs could have been lost forever in our neighborhood, and they could have also been hit by a truck or hit by a car. So we protected those dogs. And I thought about that the next time I met a client, the next time I took a telephone call, the next time we designed a plan for someone, the next time that we reduced their income taxes, the next time that we gave them confidence, is they were lost. A lot of new clients are lost, and a lot of them have been hit by a truck, especially today. You might feel like you got hit by a truck. So you'll see that story a little bit as we continue this evening.
Awesome. Again, we want to welcome y'all in that are just now coming on live. And remember to like our web page, our Facebook page while you're there. And make sure you share this out to your friends so they can get this valuable information. So speaking of the market today, it was not a good day in the market. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it is generating a possible positive return for our clients in a sense. So what do you think, how we're going to lead that out to them?
Let's talk a little bit about that. Years ago, I just thought about this. I had a 1973 Mercury Cougar. If you're out there tonight in Facebook land and you have a 1973 Cougar, you have a great car. Problem is, the gas gauge didn't work. So I never knew, I'd stop. I was in college, I'd put in 10 gallons, 5 gallons, and it was always kind of roulette, for lack of a better word. Listen, this is the point we want to make. It is very critical. We believe it's very critical for you, especially after today, to know exactly what your performance is. I mean, if you call Merrill Lynch, they're going to say, oh, we're going to do a good job. You call Charles Schwab, oh, we're going to do a good job. You call us, we're going to tell you we're going to do a good job. Of course. But the bottom line is you need an independent, Morningstar, third-party report, and it's critical. And listen, folks, with news that's coming in the next couple months, you're going to want to know how much gas you have in your car. Right. You're going to want to know if you're full or you're empty and what's happening. We can provide that to you. Again, it all starts with a phone call, 10-minute phone call. We have some questions for you. You have some questions for us. But after that telephone call, we can put a side-by-side comparison in writing in front of you that we believe is going to be critical for you to get through 2020. You have to know what's really happening.
That's right. So, again, the title of this message tonight was The Quick and the Dead. The quick and the dead. And we're going to explain to you tonight what's that big difference. And we want to make sure that you're part of the quick and not part of the dead. So, basically, you have to look at your past tax returns and stuff like that to see where you're going and what you're doing. And I know that I've had multiple clients that when I look back at their old tax returns, we were able to help them out and find some stuff that other people didn't. That's a little sidebar for you. But what's your experts doing to keep those folks from not being dead whenever it comes to their tax returns?
So what we're talking about is a biblical term, by the way, for those of you that read the Bible, hopefully everybody. The quick are people that are quick to change. They're quick to understand that it's not what they thought. They're quick to understand that what their neighbor told them, who cuts meat for Kroger's, may not be a tax expert, may not be a financial expert. They're quick to understand that they need to make some changes. They need to get information. The dead are people that are doing things the way they've always done things. Listen, folks, you go back 10 years ago, it was a different stock market. You go back 5 years ago, it was a different tax market, a different economy, a different president, a different political situation. So again, we want you to be quick. We want you to make the 10-minute telephone call so we can explain, hey, some of the things that you've been doing are wrong, and the reason they're wrong is because what you've been told is not accurate. What you've been told is not correct. What you've been told is you can't just buy Exxon and sit on it anymore. There's a lot of things that are different. There's taxes. There's changes to our capital gains tax structure that we believe are coming very soon. So again, taxes, we said this last week, is the tail that wags the dog. If your taxes aren't right, it doesn't make any difference how much money you make. So when we're talking income taxes, the quick to change, quick to get help, quick to reduce their income taxes, and the debt.
That's right, and that's great advice there. We want to remind y'all again that we welcome you in if you're just now tuning in. We're talking about the quick and the dead today when it comes to your taxes, with your retirement, and how to have a tax-free retirement possible. I know that sounds crazy, but it's possible to do. And so make sure that you like us on Facebook and share this out to your friends so they can get this valuable information. The good advice that we give out to our clients is beyond valuable. I can't tell how valuable it is to our clients that have already done this are learning that. So to get to the tax-free retirement and to take advantage of tax returns and stuff like that, we have to show clients how losing money cannot be always a bad thing. How we can take those losses and turn them into a positive, but not only move that positive from today, but into their retirement. How we can set up other funds to make it better for them in the retirement. So
exactly, but again, you need good advice to do that. Right. Listen, don't try this at home. Have you ever seen one of those videos? Don't try this at home. Somebody jumps off the roof of his house into a swimming pool. Don't try this at home. Yeah, don't try this at home because you're not going to be able to pull it off. Quick story. Lady from New York, one of our new clients, she might be watching tonight from New York. She called up and she had a large amount of money that had built up in profit in a particular position she owned, about $30,000. We were able to take some circumstances that exist in the tax law with our knowledge of finances and taxes. We combined them and we saved her $30,000.
Real money.
$30,000 in income taxes that she would have had to pay. So once again, people say, well, what's this going to cost? And what are you going to charge me? And let me tell you something, bud. It's valuable. It's very valuable to get good tax information. Not tax preparation. H&R Block can do that.
That's right.
I'm talking about tax advice before you do something. People that can look over your situation and say, hey, wait a minute, bud. You're cruising for a bruising here. We can help you. We can change your retirement. We can change your tax bill dramatically. $30,000, that's a stack of $100 bills about that high. Think about that.
Well, I don't know about you, but $30,000 is a lot of money to me. I got 6 kids. They can do all that up in your groceries. So we've been building up the last few weeks on all these different webinars that we've been doing, and what we want to do today is give you some practical. We're going to put some numbers out here in black and white to kind of give you a better idea of what we're talking about, how we achieve this, how we get people from having to work way on into their elderly years just to be able to afford to retire, where a lot of these folks are able to retire a little bit earlier. And some folks are worried about leaving a legacy for their children. Well, there's a difference between leaving just a little bit of money to your kids and leaving your kids a lot of money that's tax-free. And again, we want to keep enforcing on that we can give you an advantage if you'll take the move now and you'll take our advice now, to where in your retirement years you will not have to be paying all these extra taxes. Because I can guarantee you taxes are going one direction, and that's way up. I mean, we don't print all this money to get us out of these stimulus things without being able to replace that money somewhere down the line, and taxes is the only way we're going to be able to do that. So tonight we're going to kind of start getting into a little bit of this. Again, we're talking about the quick and the dead, and we're going to show you the difference between the folks that are just doing what everybody's doing and where they're going to end, versus the folks that will be quick to change, as we talked about, and take advantage of these things that we're putting out to you. And the difference is dramatic. It's unbelievable. So let's go ahead and start a little bit about the working years, Patrick. What can we show them the difference, what folks are doing now and what they should be doing?
Well, first of all, we're using $200,000 a year, just kind of as an example. And again, you're going to see this is night and day. And what we want you to understand is these people were not special. These people were not unusual. These people weren't doctors or lawyers or architects. These were regular run-of-the-mill, many case blue-collar people working for refineries, working here in the state of Texas. And in some cases, again, as you'll see, we were able to reduce their income taxes to zero. That's pretty far down, zero. Instead of 15, 18,000, zero.
So is this a tax dodge? I got to move out to the Caribbean to get this?
No, it'd be nice to move into the Caribbean, and we've got a place you can stay if you go there. But we're talking about living in Spring, Texas, and paying zero, no money at all in income taxes based on Publication 590, in the United States Tax Code. So $200,000.
All right, so at $200,000, if you're dead, you're going to end up paying, and here we go, about $24,000 a year in taxes. And what these are the folks that were, and mind you, this is a real tax return. It's kind of hard to see here. Contact us. We'll send you these out real so you'll be able to see them. But at $24,000 a year, these are the folks that are just stuffing money away into their 401k because they're not going to have to pay a lot of taxes on that money when they retire. They believe. That's what they're thinking. So at that rate, they're going to be spending an average of about $24,000 a year in taxes, right? Each year during their working years, they're going to have to pay about $24,000. Well, if they're quick, what type of result will that be for them, Patrick?
Well, it makes a big difference because, again, they're quick to understand, they're quick to get good advice, and they're quick to take advantage of tax laws that actually benefit them. So let's continue.
So the quick people, what they're going to do is they're going to stick money into their 401ks, but they're going to put it to the Roth option. In other words, they're going to pay the taxes today, and they're going to put it up. Or they're going to take that money and they're going to put it in some other vehicle that's going to come out tax-free on the other end. So those folks, on average, will pay the tax on all their income, their whole $200,000. So they're going to pay an average of about $30,000 a year in taxes. You can see that's about a $6,000 a year difference. So that seems like a lot of money adding up. That, hey, I've been smarter to pay less taxes while I was working. What we're going to show you is this isn't as smart as you think it is, especially with taxes going up.
So let's do a quick commercial. So we've got tax deferred, which is the trap, and trust me, it is a trap. Do the math. Tax deferred, which means I'm not going to pay the taxes today. I'm going to wait until I owe more money and taxes are higher in the future. I know that doesn't make sense, but let me repeat that. If you're tax deferred, like an IRA, traditional IRA, you're saying, no, I don't want to pay taxes on $1,000. I want to wait until it's $10,000, $20,000. I don't want to pay taxes today. I want to wait until taxes go up. Then I'm going to pay taxes. Of course, that is insane. Now, tax-free means just the opposite. I'm going to pay a small amount of taxes now on a small amount of money and then never pay taxes again.
Unbelievable.
It's pretty graphic, folks.
The difference is night and day. So basically, we're going to fast forward a little bit here for time restraint on everybody. But so now we head into retirement. This is where everybody thinks, okay, I've been working my whole life. I'm in the 24, the 28% tax bracket. And then when I retire, I'm magically going to drop down into this 10% tax bracket. I'm here to tell you that's not going to happen, all right? Because all your money was put up tax deferred, as he was just touching on, right? So that means you're going to have to pay the tax on all this money. Well, now you're not having a federal withholding coming out of your paycheck. You're living 100% off of your taxable money. Well, what that happens is for the folks that are in the dead category, right, the ones that are going to do what everybody's doing, all the way through their retirement years, they're going to be spending an average of about $14,000 a year in taxes, right? $14,000 every year. That's going to be going up. For simple math, we're just showing it as 14. With taxes going up the way they are, this could end up being $20,000, $30,000 by the time you retire because of this money that we're just magically printing now. So during the retirement years, that starts adding up each year. So what's the better plan for them, Patrick?
Okay, it's very simple. It's very simple. The plan is zero. That's it.
You gotta love that.
So it's not a matter of you saying, well, Patrick, I think my tax is this, or I think my tax is that, or I think this is the president. None of that matters. Let's just cut through all the fog. $14,000, maybe as much as $20,000 a year, zero. Yeah, I'll take the zero every day. Can you do this? Can we explain this to you in a 10-minute telephone call? We've done it for thousands of people. We can do it for you.
That's right.
You've got to pick up the phone. We got a couple questions to ask you. You got a couple questions to ask us, and we can get to zero. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some compliance with the regulations that exist at this time, but you can do it. We promise you, you can do it with our help.
That's right. So, I mean, it's pretty simple. Would I rather pay this every day during my retirement? You know, in the days of people dying at 60 and 65 are long behind us. Most folks, now not everybody, but most folks now are living into their 80s and 90s, and we haven't even had clients in their hundreds. There's a lady that we have is about 103 now, and she could whoop us all, but that's a different story for a different day. So imagine paying that for 20, 30 years versus this. And if taxes go up like we think they're going to in your retirement years, would you rather pay more tax on this, or I don't care how high the taxes are going up because I'm paying zero. I'm not having to pay anything. So we want to welcome you in. We thank you for watching with this. We're going to start heading down to a close now. You know, we're good pastors, so you know this will be our first close out of 20. But so basically, what we do is we want to show you that what we can offer you. Last week we told you about the tax analysis. So when you come to us, basically what we're going to do is we're going to work up your numbers based off of you, and we're going to show you the difference between where you're going and where you should be going. Where you're going and where you should be going. Now, just an average client that we pulled up, hey, when they retire on this person here, they're still going to have $78,000 of taxable money, again, taxable money, that they're going to leave to their heirs when they're 100 years old. Hey, everybody's happy with that. I still got $78,000. That's not a bad plan. Now, again, this is a little above the average client. Most clients are running out of money 75, 80 years old, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So, oh, excuse me, I put this on the wrong side. $78,000 of taxable money over here. My bad, I jumped ahead of the gun. So, the folks that are retiring, that do our plan, that are going to quit paying taxes, they're going to end up leaving about how much money at 100, Patrick? What would you say?
Well, it's over $500,000,
Over
isn't it?
$500,000 of tax-free money. It's not taxable. How would you like to leave your heirs or whoever, your church, if that's what's important to you, your kids, your grandkids, tax-free money? Not $78,000 of taxable, but $500,000 off of a simple making changes today versus what you were going to do to get to here. So what do you think about that, Patrick?
Well, it's unbelievable that the dead are paying $14,000 a year, the quick are paying zero, that this gentleman's going to hopefully leave $78,000 to his heirs, and this gentleman's going to leave $500,000 tax-free. Those differences are big and they're graphic. So the question is, I know what you're thinking, can you do that for me? Yes, we can. These are ordinary taxpayers that put their pants on one leg at a time and file the same income tax returns you file every year.
I want to throw one more thing out there that a lot of folks haven't worried about. We're getting in a generation, for whatever reason, that dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson, things like that are running rampant, right? So now all of a sudden they have this huge long-term care bill. This will run out way before you get to 100 if you have a long-term care bill. This might get you through to where you need to be. So again, this is just in a normal world. If you're one of those that have family members that's had to deal with some sort of long-term care situation, you're going to see the difference here. And next week we're going to talk on some inbox money that could even help with that situation a little more. So we want to make sure that next time you turn in, not next week, the next week from Wednesday, that you're going to get you some inbox money. I just want to kind of filter that out there. So there was another great story you had, and everybody who's anybody loves our American military and stuff like that. So I think this is going to be a heartwarming story that's going to really tie into what we're doing here today. Patrick, go ahead.
Real quick, let's close up here. How many of you have seen on television American Ninja Warrior? Pretty exciting program. I think the president or the The prize, I think, is $1 million, but you have to go through a number of obstacles. So one of the things, if you ever watch this program, you'll see this, their family and their friends in the stands will continue to shout, "You got this, you got this, you know, you can do this, you can overcome this obstacle in this obstacle course, and you can win this $1 million." So we're here tonight to tell you, you ain't got this. You ain't got this. I'm sorry for the East Texas, sorry for my grammar, you ain't got this. If you don't have the right help and the right advice and the right assistance, you ain't got this. And we want you to got this, and you need to got this to be able to have the retirement that you deserve after all the work you've put in. Get some help. You need it as soon as you can. Thank you.
Awesome. So, real quick, wrapping up, give us a call, 10-minute phone call, 15-minute max probably if you want to talk a little bit about your dogs or your children. But we'll be able to develop a plan for you that's going to show you how you can end up with a tax-free retirement if we just apply a little bit of effort today. So until next week, we appreciate you coming in, and make sure you like us out there on Facebook. Have a great evening. God bless.